Welcome to Navigating Texas Workforce Commission for Musicians, an interactive panel discussion. Fridays at 1 p.m. Brought to you by the Austin Federation of Musicians and with the Unemployment Compensation Advisory Committee. The Unemployment Compensation Advisory Committee are members of the Austin Federation of Musicians, Local 433 of the American Federation of Musicians, aka the Musicians Union. Some of us work as contractor 1099 workers, and others work as employee W-2 workers in various aspects of the music industry.
The goal of this session is to share our experiences, including trials and tribulations related to the Texas Workforce Commission, or TWC, with other musicians in the state of Texas to aid in navigating the TWC application process. We are not experts in unemployment assistance. We are musicians.
The information contained herein does not constitute either legal advice or an official pronouncement or a position of the Austin Federation of Musicians, but rather is only the personal opinions of the panelists. The panelists do not give legal advice or make official rulings on agency matters, should not be cited as authorities in any matter before the agency or when dealing with agency staff about a case, and must minimize their involvement with administrative processes. They also do not give legal advice on any other matter, and any information they should give should not be used as a basis for taking any employment-related action. Before taking any employment action that could adversely affect an employee, or before using any sample form or policy you may obtain from this group, you should consult a licensed, private sector, employment law attorney of your choice. All right, welcome back. This is Navigating Texas Workforce Commission for Musicians for November 20th, 2020. What a year, yeah. We always kind of start with the beverages. I'm doing. We've got Mark is joining us and Felicia from Connecticut here, and I'm doing coffee once again. What are y'all drinking over there?
Good old green tea as
Green
usual.
Tea. Awesome. You have a beverage over
Pouring
there?
with my water here.
Excellent. The beverage of life. Right on. Okay. We always start by kind of highlighting the different various websites down in the description of the video here, and it has the TWC website, the Texas Workforce Commission website. Even though it's very difficult to navigate sometimes, that's the official source of information. So if you can't find it on there, it may not actually be true, is the thing. But they also have their Facebook page, and they do 3 times a week, I believe, they do a press conference that's aired on their Facebook page. And then there's links to our unemployment sharing Facebook page and our COVID-19 resources page for the union local here in Austin, Texas. So that can be very helpful. And then, of course, also who represents me is becoming more and more and more important to know who represents you in the legislature and everywhere else. So, yeah. All right. Well, I thought we'd start. I thought we'd start a little bit with kind of what we were talking about before, with the discussion of the PUA sort of running out. I think you had a little bit of news about that, Mark?
Yeah, I received an email from Texas Workforce Commission advising me that Texas is not authorized to pay any federally funded pandemic unemployment assistance, PUA, benefits after 39 weeks from the date your claim started or after December 26th, 2020. So it looks like everybody's benefits are running out on December 26th. And these benefits seem to be the ones that were set under the CARES Act, according to this email. Because it says in here, the expiration date for this pandemic unemployment benefits program was set under the terms of the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act, CARES Act, and cannot be changed without additional congressional action.
Yeah. So they're letting us know that it's not our fault. It's not it's not a Texas decision. It's a national decision.
Yeah, so that would seem to imply, I mean, I don't know, I'm not sure I completely understand this email, but it seems to suggest that everybody that's getting unemployment now is going to stop getting unemployment on December 26th. whether they've done their 39 weeks or not.
It does sound like that. Yeah, if you qualified under the PUA, it sounds like that. Yeah, and I have heard from musicians that are getting notices of it expiring earlier. Like if they especially if they got their claim backdated all the way back
Right.
to March, whenever that
Yeah,
was.
mine says 12/19/2020 is my
Okay.
39th week.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
kind
What it doesn't say is that it doesn't make clear if Congress does offer us another package like the CARES package, then are we going to have to go in and reapply all over again to
yes.
TWC? It doesn't say anything
It
about
doesn't
that.
say that. Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, on this panel discussion, of course, sometimes what we do is reveal questions and we don't actually have the answers.
Well, I tried. I
yeah.
actually tried this week to find out the answer to that question, and I couldn't. There was nothing on the TWC website or on the CARES bill that says anything about that.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, and I mean, from what I've tried to see, my search into just the PWA in general this last week, I think that it's not just that we don't have the answers. I think they might not have the answers. I mean, I think it all comes down to that this was thrown down, so, just really quickly thrown together, and now they're kind of questioning, hey, did we do this the right way in the first place?
Yeah. And it may depend on what the new act says if and when we do get a new CARES Act or whatever they're going to call it. It may depend on how that's lined up, with all the states. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, we've been, kind of telling people to stay in the system and keep making the payment requests. Because, if and when another aid package comes in, hopefully it would be backdated back to the requests that you've already made.
But that's another thing that this email doesn't say.
We don't know.
Is after December 26th, am I going to still be in the system and able to file a payment request?
Will you even be able to log in? We don't know.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously, by December 26th, we're going to find out a lot about or on to December 26th, we're going to find out a lot about what's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we will need to. Yeah, I mean, the federal government itself is only funded into the middle of December, I think, or something like that, right? So it's a mess right now. It really is. Yeah, my goodness. Yeah. We have heard from some, to Felicia's point, we have heard from some musicians locally here, not many, but that were asked to pay a part of their unemployment back because it was mistakenly given to them or something, or they were mistakenly qualified for part of it or something. Of course, when that happens, the TWC or whoever the state agency is, they have to prove that it was the worker's fault that money was given and not their fault. So you probably should, if that happens to you, you should definitely appeal it. And there's always an appeal process, right in the notice that they give you, especially when that money is already spent, which most of the time it is, of course, in this situation. So. Yeah.
So, Aaron, have you been finding that people, I don't know if you have talked to somebody that has appealed or if you have, do you have any timelines that they heard back? Because I know I've read in other states where people have appealed and there's been, they still are at the point where they say they need to pay it back.
That's really the thing is, the whole thing is we don't know how long it takes anymore because all of the state systems are overflooded with people. So, I heard from one musician here that did not appeal and just paid it back. But that was a person that had a very complex situation that had to do with an LLC and W-2s from his own LLC and also performance income and also teaching income, and it was very, very complicated.
Was the LLC related to performing?
No.
Was it underneath, or was it separate?
Something else, yeah. Mostly. And so, yeah.
Well, do we have an idea of how many people have been so affected?
No. The state put out, state of Texas put out a notice last month about how many people total in the whole state of Texas, not musicians, just all total people. And it was something like 80,000 people or something were
Whoa.
asked to make some adjustment. That wasn't that any adjustment. Not just a large adjustment. So it was it was a very vague number that they put out, and that's the only number that I've seen. And I've
Well,
only really heard about 2 musicians that happened to, and so we'll see. Yeah.
and I brought this, to Aaron's attention this last week. I said, "Have you seen this?" I started researching, and I've seen articles related to multiple different states, and I'm looking at an article right now. It says Ohio, 160,000 people received overpayments. I saw
Whoa.
Missouri, Colorado, Montana. Some states are requiring full repayment immediately.
Of
And from
all the
what,
PUA benefits, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so what I
Oh,
was seeing is that
Yeah.
under
yikes.
regular unemployment, that there's a clause that the state, retains a right to issue some sort of hardship allowance. But with POA, they didn't write that in there. So the
Wow.
state has no, from what I've seen, I did see something recently though that in Ohio that they're talking about a waiver, but and then the states are saying, well, this is the federal government mandating this. We have no choice. But then it's looking like some states are trying to get waivers. So I don't know. I mean, I think it's just day to day at the moment. But
Yeah. It's a scary time right
nonetheless,
now. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Of course, we've been every week we've been at least at the end of the show, we've been promoting the letter writing campaigns and the petitions and things to the United States Senate to get to work on this, because they're working on all kinds of stuff. I mean, they had the Supreme Court judge last week, and now they're processing all this like last minute legislation for the outgoing president. That's doesn't seem very relevant to workers at all. So they're meeting. I mean, we know that the Senate is meeting and voting on stuff. Where they made a big deal just the other day that Senator, the Vice President elect, Senator Kamala Harris, went to the Senate in order to vote on some of these like Alaskan oil drilling things and stuff. So they're meeting and voting on things, and they're not voting on this, which is terrible. Yeah, because it's going to be, it's really we're coming up to the end of it right now, and so we
Well,
do still have that. That'll be in the links at the bottom. There's a link to the latest AFL-CIO campaign, which I think is a letter writing campaign, but then there's also a call campaign where it makes it very easy to call your senator. So you put your address in and it dials your senator, and you can leave a message for him right away saying, "Hey, get to work." And of course, in Texas, that's Cornyn in this part of the state, Cornyn and Cruz, and Cornyn just got reelected, so maybe we can get him to do something. I don't know, but hasn't been
Not
very
likely.
receptive before.
Not likely.
No, yeah. So, and of course, our office has directly written both of those senators about several different issues several times, and either gotten no response or gotten an extremely negative response back from them. But all we can do is just keep letting them know, because it's their job to vote on this stuff. It's their job to do this kind of thing when it's needed. So yeah, that's I guess the best thing we can do at this point, other than just keeping it together, and stay in that system as long as you can, for unemployment, and keep making the payment requests as long as you can, even if you're not getting the benefits. Keep making the requests, because hopefully when a new aid package comes in, that would be the fastest way, is if you already have your payment requests on file, and they can just fill them right in.
If you're still in the system.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you don't roll out of the system if you don't have to. Just keep business as usual. The other thing I wanted to talk about is we had a lot of questions about payment requests in the last couple of weeks, because that or not payment requests, work search requirements, of course.
Work search.
Yeah, because that went back in on November. Well, the TWC website conflicts itself. It says the work search requirements are reinstated on November 1st, and then it also says they're reinstated on November 15th. And I think what it means is that they're reinstated on November 1st, but they won't ask you about them until the request you make on the 15th, I think is what it means, but it's actually not written well at all, like a lot of things on that website, so it's not clear. There's been a lot of discussion about what those work search requirements can be for musicians, especially contract musicians or self-employed musicians, and it seems very similar to the same kind of things you write off on your taxes, right? The same kind of things, that I would take you guys out to lunch to talk about or whatever. It would be bookings or repertoire or marketing or anything, we could write that lunch off on our taxes. So the same kind of thing would count for work search requirements. But I think what people are missing is that you have to keep the log of work search requirements. You have to have 3 of those things that are different each week, so that when you're randomly selected by the TWC, you have something to tell them for that specific week. Oh, I did this and this, and I called this person, and I think all 3 of them have to be different is the thing. And if it's calling people or contacting people, you have to list who it is that you contacted or called. But it's not tough to do. You just have to do it every week. You have to get in the rhythm of doing it. Mark, I think you and I were talking about doing it, when you make your payment request. And I think you've been using the automated system. Is that still?
You mean for Texas Workforce?
Yeah,
For the job search?
Yeah, the Work in Texas thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, I went on and registered just because I didn't have anything else to do that day.
Oh.
But I haven't done, since I registered there, I haven't done anything on it because I haven't had to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was kind of comical, or I don't know if comical is the right word, but in this email that I got from TWC, it says, the Texas economy continues to reopen and Texans are returning to work. There are a large number of available jobs providing Texans with new work opportunities.
Okay.
I mean, that's some optimistic talk right there.
That is, yeah. Especially in our business.
It's like, it's not our fault you're not working, it's your fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, or I mean, what would a new job be for me?
Right.
70 years old, musician all my life. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and this is something that's kind of been on my mind a lot, since reading all this week, is like calls into question once again, like how musicians are just continuously not respected, or it also now more than ever is the time for musicians to take it into our own hands and do it the right way. Keep your documents, keep your contracts, do your contracts, keep like just documentation, pay your taxes, do it the right way. Yeah. So that we can continue to get respect. And so when something like this happens, hopefully it never does again, but that we are considered part of the workforce, right? Because I think for years it's been too many musicians don't do it the right way. And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, we're not considered part of the workforce. Well, where are your contracts? Where's your union membership? Where's your documentation?
Where's the paper trail? Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if it's a digital paper trail, it would still be better than no paper trail, no documentation. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And of course, we'd love to have you join the union as well. The union is for every musician. We need it. It maintains all of our national wage scales. We maintain local wage scales. We defend contracts. We get money. We recover money from musicians all the time. And those contracts a lot of times prevent anyone losing income to begin with. When you have a union contract, that employer knows that the contract's with the union and not just with one musician. It's with thousands of musicians that have lawyers. So that brings up, I think that's a great segue. So if you're a member of a union in good standing that has what the TWC calls a non-discriminatory hiring hall, which our union does. It's a referral service for our local union, but it counts for that. You don't have to do any work searches at all. You can keep putting 0 for work searches. But we've had a lot of questions about how can I tell if the TWC knows that I'm a union member in good standing? because a lot of us don't remember when we applied because we were, in the middle of a pandemic, right? And most of us, especially 1099 and self-employed workers, we never qualified for unemployment before, so we've never done it before. If you're an employee with a symphony, you might have done it before. If you're an actual, W-2 employee, you might have used it before because you do qualify in that instance. But if you're independent and you get 1099s, and you might not have done that before. So I do have the one way that it seems like you can tell, at least if you do the online payment request. What happens is you get a we talked about this last week. You get a confirmation page, and that's where it offers to show you your payment request so you can print it, but it's not the page that you print. So if you've been printing out your pages, that's good. Keep doing that. But it doesn't have this part on it, and it's the reminder section at the bottom of the confirmation page. And so if TWC doesn't know that you're a union member, or you're not a union member, it'll look like this. I'm going to put it up on the screen here. I'm not sure if you guys will be able to see this, unfortunately. But it's under reminders. It says you may make your next payment request on your scheduled filing day, and it tells you what that is. And then it says you must make a minimum of 3 work search contacts each week. Keep detailed records of your work search efforts. TWC routinely verifies work search contacts. But if they know about your union membership, it looks like this. It looks like this other one here under reminders. It says the same thing. It tells you when your next payment request date is and your filing day. But then it says you are required to report to your union's hiring hall and abide by the union rules. If your union status changes, TWC offers work search assistance, and it goes on. You have to tell them if your union status changes. So if you're not seeing that part about the union there, they probably don't know that you're there. Now, of course, our local union has submitted all of our members in good standing to the TWC already. But like everything else, we don't know how long it will take them to process that information. So that's something to look out for. And if you're concerned about that and you'd like to be proactive about changing that, we should get in touch with the state senator's office again, like we have been doing for a lot of musicians. That seems to be the only way we can get a change to an individual musician's unemployment application, is by getting a hold of the state senator's office, and they get the musician a call from the TWC from inside the office. So there you go. Have you guys heard about anybody else asking about those kind of questions now recently? Yeah.
No, but I'm curious I didn't check into it, but I did my payment request last week and it went through, and I didn't get any notice saying, oh, you have to file work search.
Mm-hmm.
So I would think if you file your payment request and it goes through, then that means that you did show your affiliation with the union on your application. I would assume. I'm not sure that's correct.
Let me show you what it looks like. I think I can share it on the call here, so you guys can see it too. Hopefully. Oh wait, no, I gotta open a window. Yeah. There we go.
You're high tech, dude.
Okay, hold on. Oh, no. Okay, hold on. Present a window. So many things. There it is. Okay. Can y'all see that?
Yeah.
Oh, it's coming.
Yeah, under reminders. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm presenting, to the call here,
Cool.
and I think the viewers now can't see it, so it's a one or the other here. I will have to work on the system here, but but that's what you'll see if the TWC knows about your union membership.
Thank you.
Yeah. So that seems to be the only way you can verify it, and it's at the end of the payment request when you do it online. If you do it over the phone, I'm not sure if you can see that or not. I don't know if there's a reminder section like that. We don't I don't know anybody that does it that way. So do you guys know anybody?
I mean,
that
I
does it
would
before?
assume also that you can try to contact somebody at TWC. I mean, you know what we've all been through doing that, but
Yeah.
you know, if you catch it at the right moment, at the right time of day, and you get through to somebody, they probably can log into your account and see what you have in there.
You would think even the most, even the first tier of
Yeah,
phone answer folks would be able to do that. Yeah, and see if that information is there or not. If you can get through, yeah, like you said.
right.
I've heard good things about calling early in the morning. I think they open at 7 a.m. Central. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, I've heard it's easier now than it was 6 months ago,
I've heard the same thing. Yeah.
but they also may have fewer people now. So
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So. Well, anyway, let's transition into the news here. Where we had several area high schools closed this week, but I think they left the middle school and elementary schools open mostly because the older kids seem to have more trouble with the virus spreading. Um, so yeah, Austin High School and Stony Point and Round Rock and several others. And of course, I think they're all closing for Thanksgiving break after today anyway. But yeah, a lot of them closed on Monday. And yesterday, the the county, our Travis County, um, virus restrictions went into stage 4 from stage 3, which, well, they're not really restrictions, right? They're recommendations or guidelines, right? They're not actually enforceable. But we just went up a stage there due to the numbers. So that's interesting. Our bars still aren't open in Travis County because of the virus numbers, and the county judge has to decide whether that's appropriate. But all the surrounding counties, I think, Felicia, we were talking about work down here, and you're seeing some folks posting about work on Facebook and things like that, and yeah, there are some folks doing some gigs, especially in surrounding counties. I think Lee County's 100% open. Hayes County, um,
Yeah.
Williamson County.
100%.
Yeah, yeah. So, yep. So there is work that can be done in some of those places. There's work to be done in Travis County because some of the venues have been able to open up as restaurants, and as
Yeah.
outdoor places. So there are folks finding some ways to work. But yeah, we're seeing those numbers rising up now. So um,
Yeah.
you gotta make your own decision to be safe on that. And yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Man, um, gosh, the president of the AFL-CIO, who's Richard Trumka, which is very unfortunate. It sounds a lot like Trump, but it's Trumka. It's a different person, very different person. Um, he met with the incoming presidential administration, with the Biden-Harris administration, just kind of about reassembling the Department of Labor, and in particular OSHA, which is what does OSHA stand for? It's Occupational Safety and Health Administration,
Mhm.
that does the safety guidelines, for workers. That hasn't really functioned. There hasn't been a director, a full-time director, in 4 years now. So there's really nothing being done as far as workplace safety nationally at all right now. So that's a big thing that we obviously need desperately right now. So all those things are going to have to be reassembled by the new administration, and we're going to have to make them do it. We're going to have to stay on them. And of course, we're all members, as union members. We're all also members of the AFL-CIO, which is like the mother organization. So then we're going to keep the pressure going on there. Did y'all see the tweet from our brothers and sisters at IATSE about
No.
Mayor Giuliani? Let me see if I can put that up on the screen. That's pretty good. They kind of broke the internet the other day with this. Let's see.
I missed it.
There it is. Oh, can I put it on y'all's screen? Let's see if I can put it on y'all's screen. That's right. I think I can. Oh, well, I don't know if I can do it on the same the same thing. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? No, that's not it. Goodness. Well, I'm getting... Oh, there it is. Okay. See if you can see that. And I'll put it up here as well. Yeah. So, yeah, IATSE said, here's why you should hire union hair and makeup professionals. Because our brothers and sisters at the, the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees represent those workers, the hair and makeup people. And, of course, Mayor Giuliani had a big run of hair dye, I think, running down his face.
Oh,
there. So it was like, oh, man.
Can you zoom in on that?
Possibly. Let me see. Let me see. Can I zoom? Oh, is it getting better?
Yeah, there we go. Oh, yeah. There it is, yeah.
Oh, man. So, good for them. They got a lot of attention for that, as they should, and they're absolutely right. Of course, unfortunately, all the Trump rallies and everything. I mean, they've actually made light out of the fact that they haven't been hiring union workers to run any of that stuff at all, or union stagehands, which is primarily what IATSE represents, which is terrible, and it results in a terrible quality production as well. I mean, you do not get, things running smoothly when you don't have IATSE kind of in charge of your stage. So, so good for them. that was fun to see. Gosh, what else? I talked to you about the AFL-CIO calling campaign about the Heroes. That's about the Heroes Act. So. That's really the best solution for all this junk that we're talking about, with unemployment running out, with benefits running out, with work searches being reinstated. The Heroes Act is really what can help that, or some version of that, and we got to get that passed. So yeah, we just got to keep the pressure on. What about you guys? Did you have any other topics you want to discuss before we sign off?
Just to mention, you mentioned phone calling and letter writing. That can certainly be done regarding the Georgia Senate races as well.
Oh my goodness, yes, and that directly affects the Senate. Of course, that's what the runoff is about. Oh, excellent point. Yeah, yep, yeah. I mean, as union members, I mean, we're apolitical. We support candidates that support workers, but in recent history, that has not been the Republican representatives by and large. It's been the Democratic, candidates, and so if those candidates, if those Senate seats go blue in Georgia, that'll make it a lot easier to pass the Heroes Act, and to get a lot of this fixed. I wish it wasn't so close, but it is. It's really close, isn't it? I mean,
January 5th.
Yeah, that's coming up. I just mean the Senate majority is so close, right?
Yeah.
I wish that wasn't so close either, but yeah. I'm actually kind of glad that the runoff is close as far as the date. Although I kind of wish it was sooner. It'd be better if I could get that done sooner. But I guess we got to get the current election that's not over with done first, and we can worry about that. Oh man. But yeah, all right.
Yeah, and I think that, I mean, I touched on it earlier, but I mean, I know it's easy to say right now, where a lot of us haven't worked in months, for anybody that is not a union member currently, it's easy to say, well, why would I join a union right now? I'm not working, I don't have money. But now more than ever, I think is a time to join. We need to work together. We need to be fighting for each other, because us being out there alone is never going to work. We need to be part of a team. We need to fight for each other, and it might not seem like now is the best time, but I think now is a better time than ever. and just continue to keep your documentation, do contracts, join a union, be there, be present, because I think that when I've been at least looking at this repayment, it seems like, it's very vague, but it seems like it might be coming down to, if you can prove you're part of the workforce or not. And all of the things that I just touched on are going to help you
Yeah.
if it comes to that, So I think now, really more than ever, is a time to join and just, keep fighting.
Well said. Well said. Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's becoming more and more obvious that our employers are not going to do that for us. We have to do it for ourselves. And that's the best way to do it. So, right on. Well, if you're watching this and you're in the music industry, don't give up. We can get through this together by sharing information and solidarity in particular. Join your local union and we will survive to play.
Hang in there.
Yeah, hang in there. Right on. All right, we will not be here next week because of Thanksgiving, but in 2 weeks on Friday we'll be back and talking about whatever is happening. So, happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Bye.
Thanks, Felicia and Mark. Bye-bye.